is up, guys? BloodZelos, welcome back to the Dual Let's Build. This is episode 10. As you have probably figured out here in the couple seconds I've been recording, Andy's not here. That is because it is probably like 9 p.m. for me, which is somewhere 3 or 4 a.m. for him when I'm recording episode 10. We live in very different time zones, and so that's going to make this whole recording together thing a little bit of a challenge, especially because this weekend I'm just gone. So that's why, so we'll try and get one of the, as soon as we can, we'll get one of the episodes as soon as possible recorded together, but it's not going to be episode 10 quite like we were hoping. So, without saying too much else, I guess what we're going to do today is I want to start framing more. I guess one other thing I wanted to say, I read some comments, they struck me really deep, they hurt. We'll be right back. Okay, what I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted there is that I read some comments, they hurt very deeply. Basically, people were complaining, saying, oh, you know, it's basically just a lot of complaining. And I understand that. What you have to understand is that Andy and I are trying to build with two separate styles in a time limit. Those are like two of the hardest things to do when you're building, is have no plan, have completely separate styles, and be rushed and under pressure at that. So, I read those comments. One of the comments was like, oh, Andy gets so much done every episode, Alec does nothing. I partly agree with that, sort of. But there's a reason to that. If I come over here to what he's building, and I sit here and I just build on top of everything he's building right now, it's going to be a mess. It will literally never get done, and if it does, it will look like a trash pile. That's why, last episode, I decided to kind of back away from this a little bit. Decided I would come over here to framing out the rest of the house, because I just can't do that, because I don't know what Andy wants to do. Andy doesn't know what I want to do. That's partly what the point of this episode we're going to do together soon is, but that's a little bit what's going on. So if you have complaints like that, keep them to yourself. It's this is what we're doing is kind of tough. You know, we don't really know what we're doing at all. So with that being said, we're going to get some stuff done today. So let me tab away and start the timer. 7.5 minutes, let's go. So the first thing I wanted to do is, I watched Andy's last video. He was talking about how he felt like there just wasn't any sort of shape yet. So we're just going to come over here and see what we can do in terms of shape. Now, I can't promise that this is going to be anything good, but it's worth it. And something I realized when I was watching one of my episodes is I think that I am a little bit too cautious. If I do anything that I don't like 100%, I think I tend to just kind of cut it without thinking about it at all. And I don't think I should do that, because a lot of what building is taking time. You have to have time to kind of grow on what you've just built. Obviously, that's a little bit of a problem here, because we don't have that luxury. We have no time in this, and so that is partly why. Oh, that's the wrong block. That's partly why I've been just not getting as much done, is because I just haven't felt like it was good. But then I realized I haven't had the time to feel like it was good. You have to have the time to feel like things are good. So that is probably partly what's going on there. So I'm going to build things, and if I don't like it, I'm going to come back later and fix it. I'm not going to spend the entire episode trying to fix one thing that I don't necessarily like. Ooh, so we did that, weirdly. Which side do I like better, though? That's the important question. I'm going to go, we're going to do it this way, I think. I think this looks cooler. So we'll bring this in like that, and we don't need this right here. And I'm just trying to get some sort of shape on this part of the building, because it is really, really shapeless right now. It's a big square. And a lot of people were complaining. There's been people complaining about my building. There's been people complaining about Andy's building. It's been all over the place. But there's been a lot of people just saying that it feels, you know, like there's no shape, and it's too big and bulky. Well, again, you guys haven't seen the screenshots that I have of kind of, we don't have a plan for this house, but there have been screenshots that we've kind of shared showing a very rough idea of what we might be looking at. And after seeing those, this could turn out really well. So you just have to have faith. I can promise you this building is going to turn out looking, you know, I think it's going to turn out looking pretty well. I can't promise you it's going to be quick, and I can't promise you we're both going to contribute equally. But I really do genuinely think that it will turn out looking really good. It's one thing I've learned in building is it's really hard to have two builders who know what they're doing and really screw up a house. On the other hand, I can't really talk because we don't really know what we're doing too much here. So yeah, we're just trying to throw around some shapes here. But again, I don't want to focus too much on that. So let's go ahead and leave the middle what we've done. What I'm going to do next episode is I'll come back and I'll look at that off camera first a little bit. Some of this I kind of looked at off camera already, but I'll come back and I'll look at it off camera, see what we can do to try and help ourselves out here, because yeah, it's all over the place for sure. And we want that modern feel. One thing that I'm very confident in is giving things kind of a modern shape. And that's partly why I've been so out of it, is because this isn't usually what I start with. This isn't really a base, and so that's where we get that that whole thing coming in. But have no fear, we will get it done and it will look beautiful. So let's get these things done. These are all things that I looked at, little detail things that I was looking at here off camera that I just decided needed to get done. Now there is something that's worth mentioning here, and that is the other reason it's really hard to build is because we don't have a final plan in mind here. I don't really know what this pool is. I don't know what our plan for that pool is. I don't really know what's going to go on with that pool at all. Because when we first talked about this build, Andy said something about, you know, wanting to have like a house on a lot of different layers, have it kind of all over the place on this mountain. I thought that sounded cool. And then he put a pool right here in the middle. Now I'm not complaining. We'll make it work. But I just don't, so that's where I'm a little bit out of it. A little bit confused on the whole pool thing. But anyways, we are going to make it work. It's not going to be a problem. This house is going to be gorgeous when it's done. So let's give it some modern kind of shapes though right now. That's the best we can do. So we're going to do that. See, like, for example, here's something for example. If I come and look at the house right here, I have no clue if this is going to be inside the house or outside the house. I don't know any of that. We don't know. We haven't thought that, we haven't planned any of that out, so we really don't know. Anyways, we want some of this dye right here. Because I want to raise this up a bunch, because I decided, like, at least up to this floor level right here. Because I realized that we need some sort of like a slope coming in on there. And then maybe even, what is the distance here? 3, 1, 2, 3, probably even go up one more. This will just give us some space to work with there. That gives us a part of the house coming out like that. Now what we can do is we can bring this up 2 right here, like this. And because we have that, we now have this nice little slope coming down, just like so. Go ahead and we can bring this across the bottom, like that. And we're starting to get somewhere. Now we're gonna leave that down like this. Over here, I actually wanna break that apart. We'll probably have that be a separate section. And I'm thinking this whole wall might actually disappear at some point. I'm not quite sure what I wanna do with that yet. What I do wanna do though is come over here, and I wanna kind of find a middle ground. I'm thinking like about here. This looks good. Or here. We'll go here. I want to bring a pillar up here and bring that pillar across to here. And that gives us that kind of base. There's going to be a lot of terraforming that has to go on here, like moving this whole mountain around, and that's going to be a little bit of fun. Well, I don't know if fun is the right term, but it's going to be something. So we will get to that at some point too. Then we'll bring this across here like that. And we have ourselves a shape going on there. I'm going to go ahead, I think, and get rid of this wall right here, because I don't really think we need it. So we'll just set those all to air, and it will just kind of vanish just like that. And now that that wall is out of the way, we have a little more freedom to work over here. But that means that we have to come up with a way to get around this pool here with our frame, and that's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm thinking we'll come up here, bring that up like so. And we want it to kind of curve, I think. I think a kind of curve would be nice. So we'll have to figure that out, but we'll bring that up to there. Let's chop this back down. So maybe we will bring this across. I wasn't going to do this. I wasn't going to do this, but it looks like we're going to do it now. We're going to bring that across. We're going to bring that up. This is a completely different block, by the way. Diorite is 1-4, and this is stone, which is 1. So place 1 with 1-4. Should do that. We have 56 seconds here, so we can chop that down. And actually, we've got to run the same command over here to turn those into what we need. And then we can bring that across, and hopefully, 43 seconds, can we lay out some kind of a circular base? It's not a circle. Actually, it's just a straight corner. I could be okay with that, though. Or we can have it come in like that. Those are our choices. Like that. I like that better. We'll do that. So that is that, and then it will follow that on the top. Get rid of that, and it comes across like this. Oopsies. Like that. So we have 1, 2, 1. That looks about right. I don't know where that leg just came from. I guess it needs to go up one more. So kind of like this. Beautiful. And bring this across here. And now we're getting a frame, which means next episode we can start to take this frame and do something with it. There's my timer. So that you didn't see that. I was just putting that pillar there. Okay, so we'll go ahead and connect those later. But there we go. We have a frame of the house, and we have some modern shapes going on. So I like that. I like that. Andy, it's up to you to figure out what we're doing over here. Next episode, I'm going to come back and do a little bit more on this wall here to try and make it do something else, so it's not just flat. But that is that. If you enjoyed the episode, please leave a like. It is really helpful, and we do love doing this series. We're learning every episode how to improve it, and we want to be able to do multiple seasons of this, so we want to make sure that you guys enjoy watching it. If you have any suggestions, do make sure to leave them in the comment section. For example, should we go to 10-minute episodes? With all this time constraint stuff, I'm starting to want that. So everyone vote in the comments for 10-minute episodes, and I would be totally cool with that too. I'll see you next video. Goodbye.